Hi, this is Roberto, and I'm going to teach you physics. If I can find my pens. Okay, we've been discussing. It's complicated because I'm charging, so you will understand. Anyway, so we've been talking about equations, okay, that tell stories. But equations, don't forget that in physics they are crucial, but they are based on maths, so we need to know how to solve them. And we're going to use information given in a previous video. But anyway, the basic idea is that an equation, we did this in an experiment. I might add a link if I find out how to do it. But the idea is that in an equation you have, important thing is A equal B, two things that can be different but they are the same. And the important thing about equation is that it's able to adapt to changes. For instance, if I multiply by 2 in one side, I have to multiply by 2 to the other in the other side. Also, if this is how multiplication, how multiplication, okay, put it as an asterisk. Okay, also sum. If I add something on one side, I have to add it in the other to keep the equality. I explained it in the other video using a balance, if you remember. Also, an equation can withstand subtraction. For instance, if I do a minus c, I have to to subtract c in the other side. And also divisions. For instance, if I have 3a equals 3b, this is the division. If I divide by 3 in one side, I have to divide in the other. So yes, this will simplify, and I will have a equal b again. So this basic idea is the one that is going to help us solve equations that we can find in physics. For instance, x plus 3 equals 5. Okay, how can we solve this? So since an equation, I can solve. We're going to solve for x. The way to solve for x is, in Spanish we call that isolate x, because we want the result going to be x equal something. That's what we're going to get. So we try to get rid of what accompanies the x. How? If I subtract 3 in this side, if I do x plus 3 minus 3, I have to subtract 3 in the other side of the equation, and plus 3 minus 3 is equal to 0, so I have x equal 5 minus 3, which is 2. So let's go back. 2 plus 3 equal 5. When the solution is x equal 2, and we can verify that it's a solution because 2 plus 3 equal 5. This is pretty simple, and the rest use the same idea but changing the operations. Okay, for instance, if I got 2x plus 3 equal 5, very similar, but now with a 2 going with the x. The idea is to solve for x is, again, solve for x is to have something like x equal whatever. Okay, how am I going to do? First, we have to get rid of the procedure is always the same. Get rid with I. Get rid of the sums, and then get rid of multiplying factors, or multiplication. This is the usual procedure. So what I do is first I get rid of what is summing, okay? How? Subtracting exactly what I want to make this appear, okay? So minus 3 plus 3 minus 3 is 0. And to keep the equality, I have to subtract here, so minus 3. So I have 2x equal 5 minus 3 equal 2. So see, I can divide by 2 on the whole equation, one side and the other. So if I divide it by 2 here, divide by 2, I will have 2x divided by 2 equal 2 divided by 2. So x equal 1 is going to be the result. Let's go back. 1 is what it is a solution of the initial equation. 2 times 1 plus 3 equal 5. Perfect. Okay. I made it with some with yes. So it's simple. It's always the same. It's always the same. Now I'm taking you the first equation I remember. When I was very little, my mom used to tell me that my brother was 2 years older than me. Okay. For instance, if X was my age and Y was my brother's age, my mom used to say that my age was my brother's age minus 2 years. Okay. I didn't like it because it seemed that every year I made like, now I'm 11. I had been 11 before me, so like the years were used for me, like when I inherited from my brother, we call inherit in Spanish, even though the person is alive. His clothes, because he was older than me, and at the time, I think people do it still now. We have different brothers. The shirts and the trousers. My brother used them before, and then as a kind of second-hand market inside house, I inherit his clothes. So I also inherit his age. When I was 10, he had been 10 2 years before. So, but how old is my brother and how old I am? So do you agree that with that information, the fact that he's 2 years my senior, is not enough information to solve? We can't solve it. We can't solve for x, because even though we have x equal whatever, we can't have a numerical value